Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Drawing Down the Stars. I'm Snappy, and thank you for joining me for our live tarot session on today, October, 10th, 2024. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Let's give a shout out to everyone here in the chat. How's it going, Abbott? Valerie, good to see you. Much love, Lilith. Good to see you, Nikos Math. Steve McQueen, much love. Holler Haint, much love. Gandhi, great to see you. Lisa, good to see you. All right, Daphne, much love. Taz, good morning. Good to see you, Kari. Black Moon Lilith, good to see you. Geronimo, good to see you. Roving Fungus, great to see you. Sethronomicon, hi. Pamela, good to see you. Marissa, October 7th. I don't have my glasses. I'm traveling, you know. Hilarious. All right. Thank you, everyone, for correcting me. I appreciate you. All right. Good to see you, everyone. I think I said, CC99, good to see you. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me. I so appreciate it. Sethronomicon, good to see you. Really appreciate it. Much love, everyone. Let's start off by talking about the astrology. We are now moving into that moon in Sagittarius. And this is beautiful, idealistic, optimistic, outgoing energy, restless energy. It's that energy of wanting to strive for the absolute greatest, and that energy of wanting to move and just to embrace life and dive into generation, dive into creation and creativity. Now's the time when we can really be our true self and pursue what inspires us. But we have to be careful, because it's also that cutting energy, that intense energy, that burn it all down energy, right? If not taken in the right way. But luckily, we have that incredible energy of the sun in Libra, which is that outgoing pursuer of beauty, of justice, of balance, right? Of arity, of virtue, right? So when we go through that energy and we encourage that energy with that Sagittarius, you can really be in a really good place. You can be true to your morals, true to your ideals, true to who you are, without having to cut and run, and you can be in that outgoing, fun, optimistic mode. Enjoy life, you can see things on the bright side, right? It's beautiful. Embrace it. And I wanted to read for you guys. Let's talk a bit about the energy for the overall reading. So apologies first off for missing yesterday. When you're on vacation, things are a little bit hectic, and it just didn't wind up working out. But I'm here today, and I appreciate you all so much for joining me. And when I was meditating that day, though, about the tarot and what I wanted to title the day, I had pulled the moon card, and I was meditating and thinking about the moon. And what came to me was this idea, right? Like the moon represents that unconscious possibility, and that includes all the terrors and fears of the night, right? It's that great reflector that exposes us to the depths of our reality, to the depths of our imagination, right? And that can be terrifying. It can be beyond harsh, right? And we have to learn to be able to face the night, face the terrors, right? And use that terror to transform you. When you can rise to the occasion and adapt and move forward, when you can see the terror for what it is, right? Oftentimes these things are less scary when they're engaged with, when we understand them, right? So the idea is, no matter what assails the mind, you have to embrace the adventure, enjoy it, go out and try to make something of it, make something of your life, right? It's not about joy life. Life is about the experience, right? It's about evolution and growth. And that requires struggle, right? And I wanted to read for you a really cute poem that came to me via the muse. It's by Sarah Teasdale. It's called Dusk in Autumn. The moon is like a scimitar, a little silver scimitar, drifting down the sky, and near beside it is a star, a timid twinkling golden star that watches like an eye. And through the nursery window pane, the witches have a fire again, just like the ones we make. And now I know they're having tea. I'd wish they'd give a cup to me with witches' currant cake. So something just cute and fun, but it just reminded me, right? Some people would think on the moon and the witches, and that is a nightmare. That is a real nightmare from a bygone era, something that was used to terrify children, right? But you can transform that nightmare. It doesn't have to be that. You can go for tea. All right. Well, let us start today with our Ganapati Oracle. All right. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Ganapati, that divine child, the Lord of beginnings, the guardian of the threshold, and the master of Ganas? Inspire us. All right. Okay. Now, this is awesome. Splendor, beauty, love, right? This is about experiencing and embracing that splendor, that joy, that experience of the beautiful in reality. This is about the aesthetic experience. You know, within a lot of the Indian traditions, especially within something like Shaiva Siddhanta, or Kashmiri Shaivism, we see a lot of this aesthetic appreciation, the perception of beauty as being this high ideal, as something to strive for, right? I often talk of Parvati Darpana, the mirror of the goddess Parvati, in which Shiva sees himself reflected, right? And it is through gazing upon himself reflected in Parvati that he then comes to recognize that they are one and the same, and they're able to come together into that divine androgyne, the Adranahari Ishvara, that penultimate moment before creation ends. And they return to that womb. You know, it's powerful, powerful stuff, that pursuit of beauty and the perception of the beautiful, right? And there is something to be gained. There's a mystical reception in that knowledge, in that experience of the eidolon. This is at the height of a lot of this Hellenic magic, especially Aphrodite's magic. You have to perceive the beautiful, you have to create the beauty, right? And then it is that eros of distance, right? You have to respect the boundaries. You have to worship her even though you cannot engage with her, at least not in that literal sense. It's really interesting how this stuff comes out. You see this reflected in so many different things, like the Bhakti cults. Lovely stuff. But yeah, message today is splendor. Enjoy the beauty, pursue beauty, create beauty, embrace life, embrace reality, see yourself reflected in the world around you, and be transformed and transform your reality. Beautiful stuff. All right. We're now going to jump to 10 Plays by Euripides. Okay. Use this, guide my hand. What is the message from Euripides? Okay. In Troy he was lucky, but in his own house he perished by a trick of his wife. In Troy he was lucky, but in his own house he perished by a trick of his wife. Oof, that's intense energy and message. I think it's also about recognizing what makes one, about recognizing where you're at and looking at who you truly are. You know, a great soldier out in the world is not necessarily a great homemaker. You know, we know that story of Agamemnon, and it's wild. You know, it's important that we keep a good house, and we recognize that we have to be in that flow, in that loving harmony, right? All right. We're going to keep going with our sortes. Here we go to Marlowe, Dr. Faustus. All right. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Marlowe? Inspire us. Know that this city stands upon 7 hills that underprop the groundwork of the same. Just as through the midst runs the Tiber stream, with winding banks that cut it in 2 parts, over which 4 stately bridges lean, that make safe passage to each part of Rome. The city stands upon 7 hills that underprop the groundwork of the same. Interesting, right? We're getting that sacred imagery of the city and of Rome, which is that idealized city. And it becomes that we see this idea reflected in many ways. And sometimes Babylon is the ideal city, sometimes Rome is the ideal city. Christine de Pizan creates her own city of ladies as the ideal city. Athena creates the ideal city in ancient Athens, and that through that democracy, right? So we have so much about this image of the city and having to connect to it. And look, Rome is built upon the 7 hills, and under the 7 hills are these ancient foundations, right? That are even more ancient than Rome was. And just through the midst runs flowing the Tiber stream with winding banks that cuts it in 2 parts. And it's cut in 2 parts by the Tiber, right? That nymph, that river, right? And we know from the story, again, we were talking about Diamuta a few times, right? And the story of Diamuta is that she, as well as Juturna, are both nymphs of the Tiber River originally, before the Diamuta has her tongue ripped out and is tossed into the swampland. So it's interesting images to think on. Wow. All right, let's continue. We're now going to go to Goethe, Faust. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Goethe? Inspire us. So overwhelmed, one might suppose, physics and metaphysics gray had come to life before your nose. So overwhelmed, one might suppose, physics and metaphysics gray had come to life before your nose. That's exactly what has happened, right? Recognize the absurdity of creation. This is one of the most fun lines in all of Faust with Goethe. So overwhelmed, one might suppose physics and metaphysics gray had come to life before your nose. That's what life literally is. You were born into this world, kicking and screaming, barely able to grasp it. And the tools we have are physics and metaphysics. And we find some glimpse of reality in that gray in between. Beautiful. Okay. All right. The House of the Dead by Jeremy Reed. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Jeremy Reed? Inspire us. He knew me instantly, sipping at blood, his architecture constructed like a truck, and couldn't resemble physically kinetic pectoral failings to knit, and flailed there, impotent and disconnect, like a body without a heart. Whoa, like a body without a heart. Disconnected like a body without a heart. That's some interesting imagery. He knew me instantly, sipping at blood. He saw me drinking that blood. His architecture constructed like a truck and couldn't resemble physically kinetic pectoral failings to knit, and flailed there, impotent and disconnect like a body without a heart. It's like something that failed to take shape into form, right? Have you ever been in a dream and seen something like this where it's in this erratic kind of changing? Wow, interesting. But like a body running without a heart, that makes me think again of these stories, though, that we've been talking about with these nymphs like Acca Laurentia and Diamuta. and Tacita, right, in the Roman tradition, as well as like different women who are tricked or are cursed by the Furies to get their vengeance. You know what happens when you're afflicted by Alecto? She sends her snake at you and it wraps around your arm and then it goes in through your breast and then it goes into your heart and it causes your mind to go mad. And they tell us, right, that the sign of the mystery is the snake in the bosom, right? It's the snake in the heart, wrapped around the heart. Lots of wildness. Anyway, let's continue. Byron, muses. Got in my hand. What is the message from Byron? Not yet had he arrived, but for the oar which providentially for him was washed, just as his feeble arms could strike no more, and the hard wave overwhelmed him, as 'twas dashed within his grasp. He clung to it, and sore the waters beat, while he hitherto was lashed. At last, with swimming, wading, scrambling, he rolled on the beach, half senseless from the sea. Again, we have this thing about trying to scramble and survive the chaotic ocean and make it to land, right? By force of our own strength, right? To enter into that point of timelessness, right? Where we're not caught in that cyclical flow of that great river, right? That divine Rhea, the flow. How do you get out of the flow? By your own force of will and strength, fighting against that current. Rolled on the beach, half senseless from the sea. Wow, interesting. All right, we're now going to go to Don Juan in Hell. And this will be our last sortes for the evening. All right, so muses, what is the message from Don Juan in Hell? Inspire us. I could have had 12 husbands and no children. That's what I could have done, Juan. And let me tell you, that would have made all the difference to the earth which I replenished. Oof. I could have had 12 husbands and no children. That's what I could have done, Juan. And let me tell you, that would have made all the difference to the earth which I replenished. But that's recognizing that power of beauty, Wow, interesting. She could have had 12 husbands. Wild. Yeah, Akalarentia. Wow, Gandhi. That was something I almost missed. Thank you. I always appreciate the chat for this. So yeah, Akalarentia had the 12 sons and one died and then was replaced by Romulus, right? And those 12 sons become a form of specialized clergy. I'm trying to remember what they're called. But they did some interesting festivals once a year to the Mother of Lares. But yeah, wild stuff. We're now going to go to our tarot proper. And we're going to, but before I do, please give me a like and a subscribe. And if you're at all interested in a private reading, you can reach out to me, Snappy, ddts@gmail.com. I'm always around for doing private readings, and just send me a message and we can discuss. It will be great. And yeah, let's now hop to our tarot. We're going to use the Thoth Tarot of Lady Frida Harris and Aleister Crowley. We are going to invoke Saturn and ask them to dissect our life, cut it up and put it on the plate to show us the interconnections. And we ask, how do we best move and flow? How do we evolve? How do we overcome the conflicts? And how do we best manifest our true will? And what is the greater message for our community? And as always, the center card is that most important card. In today's center, we have the Prince of Swords. The Prince of Swords. Interesting energy. We've seen this one come up before recently. The Prince of Swords is that intellectual, the one who's pursuing intellect, but also that one who is reckless and young and abrasive, right? Who is pursuing high ideals and is lashing out at those around them. This is an energy of great potential, of striving for high wisdom, but it is an energy that must mature and refine itself, lest it accidentally lash out needlessly or harmfully at others. Powerful energy. Let's see where it's going. This is energy that needs to be reflected upon and balanced, right? That masculine prince needs to be balanced by the feminine and going into the unconscious of that moon to see what the wounds are. Why is this man lashing out? Where is this fight coming from? Where is that anger? Where is that resentment? Right? The moon can allow us to see things clearly and can provide us that connection to the body and can embrace this. We can fully evolve and manifest and become that knight. And look at this. If we can do that reflection, connect to that feminine, gaze with that moon energy, right? Bring our unconscious to bear, we can achieve that perfected six of success in the physical world, in our actual material reality. Beautiful, beautiful energy. Wow. Let's see where this is going. The Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. That's that great mother energy. The Queen of Cups is that feminine energy, that kin builder energy in its most nurturing form, the ultimate shoulder to cry on, the one who is forever offering her emotional support, her flow, her understanding, right? Intensely sensitive energy, but also so giving and loving and caring, right? Beautiful energy. Where is this going? But what we see here, though, before I jump, we see that this queen is connected to that prince, right? To that energy. This is an interesting pairing. Let's see where it's going. We have the devil energy here. Intense and beautiful energy, right? It's about recognizing your power at play and recognizing that you need to refine yourself and create of your will. What do you wish to do? What is the connection with this great queen, with this mother energy, right? With that Lucifer present, the sky is the limit. You can ascend the mountain and achieve all of your dreams, right? You can reach her and connect to that energy in such a profound and deep way, if that is what you wish. But the other thing to be careful of is that there's so much power here, and there's great power to cause pain if it's not applied with that reason, right? If it's not balanced. Where is this going? Beautiful. The Chariot, right? The Chariot is the one who's pursuing after that love, right? Who's pursuing after that inspiration, right? He carries the strophalos in his hand, the lapis lazuli, right? He dons the armor, engages the chariot so that it can move forward in generation, right? He engages in the conflicts what's necessary. He takes responsibility, right? Think of the great Arjuna. Arjuna, when faced with his family members and friends and colleagues on the battlefield, he was terrified. But what did Krishna advise him to do? To engage, because to do anything less would be to break his duty and would cause far more pain. And because Arjuna is Arjuna, he did what almost anyone else would have been unable to do. And he did what his dharma commanded of him. Intense energy, but that's what this is about: taking responsibility, becoming mature, moving towards that which you love and are pursuing. And you have to don that armor and protect yourself. All right. Next we have, oh, this is beautiful. The Ion. The Ion. Oh, wow. The Ion is that energy of temperance, of refinement, of giving birth to new generation, of creating and imagining yourself reformed as something greater, right? We see the combination of that grand, and you have the great goddess Nuit, who is the absolute macro, the cosmic, right? Absolute. And then we have, right, that Horus as that infinite point, right? But when they come together, they give birth to the new ion, which is that divine child to come, Harpocrates, right? The combination of forms that gives birth to a new reality that's greater than what came before. A combination of the two. Another divine androgyne. Wow, where are we going? Interesting energy. We have that queen, Capricorn. That's that energy of one who takes responsibility, the one who has to do what is harsh and necessary, right? So there's intense energy here, protection for this temperance energy and of this refining and projecting and going into the future. You know, this is an energy. What we're seeing here is there's a need to be in this mode of that protector. There's a need to embody this mother energy. We're seeing two types of the great mother on display here, that feminine kin energy, right? We have that on one hand, that one who can connect to the absolute emotional depths. And then we also have that one that can do what is necessary to protect and provide and to build, right? Coming together. All right. Interesting. And then the last card we have here is we have that peace. Peace. Learning to be at peace with what is unfolding before us, right? And this is about learning to be, what we see here is we have peace connected to that ion energy, right? And with that queen energy. So what I'm seeing here is that in order to imagine and to create into this future, in order to give birth to this Hippocrates energy, in order to be able to engage to do what this queen wishes to do, there needs to be a balancing of perspectives, of coming together, right? Two minds, right? To bring clarity and peace, to provide, right? Beautiful, interesting energy. That temperance comes when we can be at peace with ourselves, when we can truly be in that refining energy, right? And we have to be in that mother who does the hard work, right? Who can provide and can do what is necessary. Interesting energy. All right, I'm now going to flip my camera. But before I do, once again, please give me a like and subscribe. It really does make a big difference. It boosts everything in the algorithm. And if you're at all interested in a private reading, you can reach out to me, snappydts@gmail.com. All right. So here we go. So let's start here. This is, oh, shoot. Sorry, guys. Oh, my God. Okay. We're having some trouble today. All right. Okay. This is as good as it's getting. All right. We'll start here. All right. We have that moon connected to that mother, right? The moon connected to the mother, connected to the Lucifer card. Just wild energy here, right? So it's really about going to the depths of our unconscious, discovering what we truly need and what we truly want and what we truly need to do. And it's about becoming that energy, right? The queen. What's so interesting here is that, look, she holds the goat. This is the ruler of the mountain, right? That's that queen of the mountain energy, the one who's bound in earth. And who is the devil? It's that goat that climbs the mountain, that has that power and that ambition to ascend. So these are such complementary energies. And with that feminine of the unconscious, it's about really imagining and understanding this power, right? Embodying that builder energy as well, and doing what is necessary to manifest your tower, to achieve your dreams, and to be that provider, to be that builder, to be that carer. Beautiful, intense energy. All right. This is interesting. We have that Prince of Swords and the Queen of Cups coming together for that creation, right? For that refining, for that creation of the divine androgyne, the birth of a new aeon, through the sharing of perspectives and through mutual growth, right? Beautiful, powerful, powerful energy. The thing here, though, is that that prince needs to mature to be able to rise to the fully to this occasion. Powerful energy. All right. Now we engage here. 6 of discs. So much potential, so much success, so much material reward coming. We just need to have the strength to pursue it, have the strength to engage and to take and to pursue and take responsibility, right? And we need to be at peace with this, right? Be at peace with this new task of building, right? Big thing here I'm seeing with this energy is just in general, it's just about being in this ability to provide and to build, right? To move, to ascend that mountain, right? These other energies are coming together in order to help engage in that pursuit so that we have that emotional depth to be able to engage, right? So that we're at peace and not in conflict, right? We have to rise above the conflict and move through that middle path, through that placement of the shared perspective, you know? All right, let's look at our crosses now. So let's look here. We'll start here. Yeah. We have to have the strength for that prince to be able to come and be engage with this energy. What I'm seeing here is that that prince's energy is about evolving into that queen of discs energy. You know, this prince, the reckless pursuer of wisdom, they've gained their wisdom, and now it's about donning that armor and engaging in the battle, right? But the battle and how it's unfolding is in this kind of a way. It's in that motherly energy of the one who builds the city and who has the strength to protect and maintain it, who has the force of will, right? And has the strength to provide and build. So, strong energy about becoming mature, about evolving, and about pursuing, right? It leads to that material success if we can have the strength. And how do we get there? We get there through the self-reflection and the engagement of the divine feminine, through pursuing that Luciferian energy of ascending the mountain, you know? And we're being told how we do it. You ascend the mountain by being that queen of the earth. She is the goat, right? And I don't mean that in a rap way, but she also is the greatest at that, at achieving and building. None are greater. None are greater. Wow. Okay. Now we look here, right? The devil energy. And this is the great thing. You need to be in that balance, not in the conflict. We need to refine this energy and achieve that peace and evolve the fray, lest that devil energy lead us another way. Recognize you can engage in petty conflicts and BS, or you can be taking on that queen energy and building that success, connecting to that queen of cups and creating the new ion, protecting that new ion, defending it in peace with duality of perspectives, right? We just need to go to the depths of our unconscious, right? Face our fears and take action You don't have a choice, right? This is that energy of recognizing, you know, this is that feminine energy that goes, look, I don't have a choice. I just have to do. This is when those mothers, you see this with mothers. There's no other option. They just have to defend. They just have to provide. They will do whatever is necessary. Nothing else matters, right? That's that energy that's meant to be reflected upon. And that's that energy that gets you up the mountain, right? But it's also connecting with this energy of that great lover mother, the one who can provide that emotional connection, right? And that wisdom that allows us to create that temperance, that new ion, the Hippocrates, the child to come. Wow. There's a lot here to unpack. But it's all about coming together in shared perspective, right? Embracing that femininity in the moon, the unconscious, recognizing your power, building, providing, taking responsibility. All right, everyone. That's the message. I hope it resonated with you. It certainly resonated with me. And we're going to do one final sortes before we call it. All right. We're now going to go to Lorca. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Lorca? Inspire us this evening. All right. You I never could see when you were fancy free, but now that you're a wife, I'll find you, yes, and take off your dress, you pilgrim and a wife, when night is dark all round, when midnight starts to sound. Oh my gosh. That's about recognizing sometimes you don't recognize, people don't want things until they can't have them. And what they want is that violence. And they want that challenge, and they want to engage in something diabolical. Wild. Anyway, crazy last message. Thanks, everyone. I hope I see you again tomorrow for more live tarot. Take care.